What if everything you thought you knew about Elvis Presley wasn't the full story? For decades, the king of rock and roll has been celebrated as a cultural icon, his legacy cemented by electrifying performances and timeless music. But behind the glittering lights and global fame lay a deeply human story, one of love, sacrifice, and struggles often hidden from the public eye. At 79, Priscilla Presley, the woman who stood by his side during his meteoric rise, has finally come forward to confirm long-standing rumors about their life together. What secrets did Elvis confide only in her? How did their extraordinary relationship evolve under the crushing weight of fame? And what untold truths has Priscilla revealed that could forever reshape the way we see the man behind the legend? Let's get into details. Their story began in 1959, in Germany, where Elvis was stationed during his military service. At just 14 years old, Priscilla Beaulieu was introduced to him at a party by mutual friends. For her, it was a surreal moment, standing before a global superstar whose music had already shaped an entire generation. For Elvis, Priscilla's innocence and striking beauty stood out in a way he couldn't ignore. Despite the significant age difference, they formed an immediate connection. Their initial conversations were filled with laughter, a shared sense of curiosity, and an undeniable chemistry. The early days of their relationship were idyllic but fraught with challenges. Elvis's fame cast a long shadow over their budding romance, and Priscilla's parents were understandably apprehensive. Allowing their teenage daughter to spend time with a superstar seemed unthinkable, but Elvis's charm and promises of proper conduct ultimately swayed them. He assured her parents that their relationship would remain respectful, and he kept his word, at least in those early years. As their connection deepened, Priscilla found herself drawn into Elvis's world of glamour and music. It was a far cry from the structured, conservative life she had known as the daughter of a U.S. Air Force officer. The stark contrast thrilled her, but it also came with its challenges. The relationship operated under strict boundaries set by her parents. Visits were closely monitored, and she was expected to return home by curfew. These rules, while restrictive, became the foundation for their growing bond, built on mutual respect and patience. By 1963, Elvis invited Priscilla to join him in Memphis, a proposal that sparked a whirlwind of emotions. Moving halfway across the world to live near one of the most famous men on the planet was an overwhelming decision for the young Priscilla. Her parents, though hesitant, eventually agreed on the condition that she live with Elvis's father and stepmother at Graceland, ensuring a level of supervision. Life at Graceland was unlike anything Priscilla had experienced. The sprawling mansion was a hub of activity filled with Elvis's friends known as the Memphis Mafia, and a steady stream of visitors. The atmosphere was exciting yet chaotic. Priscilla found herself navigating a world where privacy was a luxury, and the lines between public image and private life blurred. She was introduced to the pressures that came with Elvis's fame, endless media attention, fan hysteria, and the relentless demands of being a global icon. Despite the chaos, their relationship flourished. Priscilla quickly adapted to the unique rhythms of Elvis's life. She witnessed his creative process firsthand, often sitting quietly as he worked on music late into the night. She learned to appreciate his dedication to his craft, even as it consumed much of his time. Yet, beneath the surface, cracks began to appear. Elvis's unpredictable schedule, dictated by his manager, Colonel Tom Parker, left little room for normalcy. Priscilla found herself grappling with feelings of isolation, longing for a semblance of stability in a life that was anything but. The public, meanwhile, watched their relationship with bated breath. Speculations and rumors swirled around them, fueled by the intrigue of Elvis dating a woman so much younger than himself. Priscilla became a figure of fascination, her every move scrutinized by fans and the press. Though she tried to maintain a semblance of normalcy, continuing her education and developing friendships, she often felt like an outsider, a young woman thrust into a world that demanded more from her than she was prepared to give. Still, their bond endured. Elvis showered Priscilla with affection, gifts, and gestures that spoke of his deep feelings for her. He valued her presence in his life, often confiding in her about his frustrations with Hollywood, his longing for creative freedom, and his struggles to reconcile his public persona with his private self. Priscilla, in turn, provided a steadying influence, offering him solace and understanding in ways few others could. As the years went by, their relationship continued to evolve. Priscilla matured into a confident young woman, increasingly aware of the complexities of their dynamic. While Elvis remained the center of her world, she began to yearn for an identity of her own, separate from his towering legacy. It was a realization that would set the stage for the next chapter of their lives, one filled with both joy and heartache as they navigated the challenges of marriage, fame, and personal growth. This foundation of mutual admiration and emotional connection would carry them forward. But it was clear that the life they were building together was anything but ordinary. What began as a chance meeting in a foreign country had blossomed into a partnership that captivated the world. And yet, beneath the surface, the pressures of being tethered to a living legend were beginning to reveal themselves. The whirlwind romance between Elvis and Priscilla Presley that began in Germany seemed destined to evolve into something extraordinary. When she finally moved to Memphis in 1963, their relationship took on a new dynamic. Living near Elvis at Graceland was both a dream and a challenge for the young Priscilla. The sprawling mansion was vibrant and alive, filled with the sounds of laughter, music, and the constant activity of Elvis's inner circle. However, it was also an environment where she had to navigate the complexities of being part of the king's world. Despite the glamour and privilege, Priscilla was determined to maintain her individuality. She continued her studies, attending Immaculate Conception High School in Memphis, where she worked hard to stay grounded amidst the frenzy surrounding her. Elvis was supportive, though his protective nature often surfaced. He was known to be particular about how Priscilla presented herself, from her clothing choices to her makeup, wanting her to embody a polished and poised image that matched his public persona. For Priscilla, these moments were a balancing act between meeting his expectations and finding her own voice. The media frenzy surrounding their relationship grew more intense over time. Elvis's fans were deeply invested, with some adoring Priscilla while others viewed her with suspicion or even envy. She became a figure of fascination, constantly under the lens of public scrutiny. Yet, within the confines of Graceland, life was markedly different. Priscilla often found herself alone during Elvis's long recording sessions or while he was away on tour, a stark reminder of the sacrifices required to be with someone of his stature. By 1967, the couple decided to marry, marking a significant turning point in their relationship. The wedding, held in Las Vegas, was an intimate yet lavish affair. Though the ceremony itself was private, the announcement sent shockwaves through the media, igniting speculation and gossip. Rumors abounded, including the idea that the marriage was a result of pressure from Priscilla's family, or even a publicity stunt. Both Elvis and Priscilla dismissed these claims, insisting that their union was a natural progression of their deep bond. In the early days of their marriage, life seemed blissful. The couple welcomed their daughter, Lisa Marie Presley, in 1968, a moment of immense joy for both. Elvis was thrilled to become a father, and Priscilla found a new purpose in motherhood. Lisa Marie brought a sense of unity to their lives, offering a shared focus amidst the whirlwind of fame. Yet, the pressures of Elvis's career soon began to weigh heavily on their relationship. Elvis was at a pivotal point in his career. The 1968 comeback special marked his triumphant return to live performance, reigniting his passion and reminding the world of his unparalleled talent. While Priscilla was proud of his achievements, the grueling demands of his career often left her feeling sidelined. Elvis's schedule grew more intense, with endless rehearsals, recording sessions, and live performances. Priscilla, meanwhile, found herself managing the household and raising their daughter, roles that were fulfilling yet isolating. As Elvis's star burned brighter, cracks in their marriage began to appear. The relentless pace of his career meant that he was often absent physically and emotionally. Priscilla, who had once been content to live in his shadow, started to yearn for her own identity. She explored interests outside of her role as Elvis's wife, dabbling in karate and other hobbies that gave her a sense of independence. These pursuits were both a source of empowerment and a point of contention, as Elvis struggled to reconcile his traditional views with Priscilla's growing autonomy. Their relationship faced further challenges due to rumors of infidelity on both sides. Elvis's magnetism and charm made him a target for attention, and while Priscilla trusted him deeply, the constant speculation was a strain. Likewise, her own friendships and activities sometimes sparked jealousy in Elvis, creating tension that neither could fully address. Despite these challenges, they remained committed to their family, with Lisa Marie often serving as a unifying force. In private, Priscilla began to see a different side of Elvis. Behind the charisma and confidence lay a man burdened by the pressures of fame. He confided in her about his frustrations with Hollywood, particularly his dissatisfaction with the formulaic movies he had been cast in. Elvis longed for meaningful roles that showcased his depth and talent, but the demands of his manager, Colonel Tom Parker, often left him feeling trapped. Priscilla's empathy and understanding became a refuge for him during these moments of vulnerability. Their life together was a blend of extremes, intense highs, and equally profound lows. For every moment of celebration, there were quiet nights filled with reflection and longing. Priscilla's role in Elvis's life was multifaceted. She was his confidant, partner, and anchor, helping him navigate the complexities of his stardom. However, as much as she supported him, she also began to recognize her own needs and dreams, a realization that would shape the next chapter of their lives. The foundation of their marriage, though strong in its early years, began to show signs of wear as the pressures of fame, personal ambition, and the complexities of their dynamic took their toll. Priscilla's journey of self-discovery and Elvis's relentless pursuit of success set the stage for a series of pivotal decisions that would redefine their relationship and their individual paths. As the 1970s unfolded, Elvis and Priscilla's lives became increasingly complex, shaped by the demands of his career and the evolving dynamics of their marriage. By this time, Elvis had firmly established himself as a cultural icon, his concerts attracting adoring fans from around the globe. The Las Vegas residencies that had begun as a bold new chapter in his career became a cornerstone of his public persona. For the audience, he was the king of rock and roll, delivering electrifying performances night after night. Behind the scenes, however, the relentless pace was taking a toll on him, and the cracks in his relationship with Priscilla were becoming more apparent. Elvis's career demands left him with little time for his family. His days were consumed by rehearsals, shows, and the endless obligations that came with being a superstar. Priscilla, while proud of his success, felt increasingly isolated in her role as his wife. She often found herself at Graceland or their Los Angeles home, managing the household and raising Lisa Marie. It was a life of privilege, but also one of loneliness. The glitz and glamour could not mask the growing emotional distance between them. In private moments, Elvis confided in Priscilla about his struggles. He spoke of his frustrations with Colonel Tom Parker, whose control over his career often left him feeling powerless. Elvis longed to break free from the formulaic roles and commercial projects that Parker pushed on him, yearning instead to explore more meaningful creative ventures. Priscilla listened empathetically, but she was also wrestling with her own inner conflicts. While she cared deeply for Elvis, she was beginning to feel like a supporting character in a story dominated by his needs and ambitions. By 1972, the strain on their marriage had reached a breaking point. Priscilla's desire for independence had grown stronger, fueled by her exploration of interests outside of her life with Elvis. She had taken up karate, a pursuit that gave her confidence and a sense of identity separate from her role as his wife. It was during this time that she formed a connection with her karate instructor, Mike Stone, a relationship that added another layer of complexity to her emotional landscape. Though rumors of infidelity swirled, Priscilla later explained that her relationship with Stone was more about finding herself than about leaving Elvis. Elvis, for his part, struggled to come to terms with the changes in their relationship. While he had always admired Priscilla's beauty and grace, her growing independence was something he hadn't anticipated. He found it difficult to reconcile the woman he had met years ago with the confident and assertive individual she was becoming. Their conversations often turned into arguments, with both struggling to bridge the gap between their differing needs and expectations. Despite their personal challenges, they remained committed to maintaining a sense of normalcy for Lisa Marie. Family moments, though increasingly rare, were cherished by both Elvis and Priscilla. They worked hard to shield their daughter from the turmoil in their marriage, presenting a united front whenever possible. For Priscilla, Lisa Marie was a source of strength and a reminder of the love that had once defined her relationship with Elvis. The decision to separate was not made lightly. Priscilla later described it as one of the most difficult choices of her life, a step taken out of necessity rather than desire. She had spent years trying to balance her love for Elvis with her need for personal growth. But by 1973, it was clear that their paths were diverging. Their divorce was finalized in October of that year, marking the end of their marriage but not their connection. Elvis and Priscilla remained close, united in their love for Lisa Marie and their shared history. The aftermath of their separation was a period of profound transformation for both. Priscilla, now free to chart her own course, embraced her independence with determination. She pursued a career in business, eventually becoming a successful entrepreneur and a prominent figure in the preservation of Elvis's legacy. Her role as co-founder of Elvis Presley Enterprises was instrumental in transforming Graceland into a global destination for fans, ensuring that Elvis's memory would endure for generations. For Elvis, the years following the divorce were marked by both triumphs and challenges. His performances continued to captivate audiences, but the demands of his career, coupled with his personal struggles, began to take a toll on his health. Priscilla remained a steady presence in his life, offering support and encouragement even as they navigated the complexities of their new relationship dynamic. Their bond, though no longer romantic, was rooted in mutual respect and a deep understanding of one another. The dissolution of their marriage was not the end of their story, but rather the beginning of a new chapter. Priscilla's reflections on this period of her life reveal a woman who grew stronger through adversity, finding her voice and purpose in the wake of profound change. For Elvis, it was a time of reckoning, a period in which he grappled with the realities of his fame and the sacrifices it demanded. Together, they forged a new kind of relationship, one that would endure despite the challenges they faced. As their lives took separate paths, the connection between Elvis and Priscilla remained undeniable. Their shared history, filled with moments of joy, heartbreak, and transformation, continued to shape who they were. For Priscilla, the journey of self-discovery that began during her marriage to Elvis would lead her to new heights, while for Elvis, the love and support of those closest to him, including Priscilla, remained a source of strength in his final years. The separation between Elvis and Priscilla marked a turning point in their lives, but their connection remained steadfast in the years that followed. For Priscilla, the divorce was both a moment of liberation and a profound challenge. Adjusting to life outside the shadow of Elvis Presley required her to redefine herself entirely. The young woman who had once been known solely as the king's wife now had to navigate the complexities of independence, motherhood, and public scrutiny, all while carving out a new identity. Priscilla found herself drawn to new opportunities and experiences, eager to explore the world on her own terms. She pursued ventures that allowed her to grow, including modeling and acting. Yet, even as she embraced these new roles, her connection to Elvis remained a defining part of her life. She was acutely aware of the responsibility she carried, not just as the mother of his child, but as a guardian of his legacy. Priscilla's decisions in the years following their divorce reflected her deep respect for Elvis and her commitment to preserving his memory. For Elvis, life after the divorce was a mix of professional triumphs and personal struggles. His performances in Las Vegas continued to draw massive crowds, and his status as a global icon remained unchallenged. But beneath the surface, the weight of his responsibilities and the pressures of fame were taking a toll on his health and well-being. Elvis's reliance on medication to cope with chronic pain and insomnia became increasingly evident, a reality that deeply concerned those closest to him, including Priscilla. Despite their separation, Priscilla remained one of Elvis's most trusted confidants. Their conversations, though different from the ones they had shared during their marriage, reflected a bond that had only deepened through their shared history. Elvis often sought her advice, particularly when it came to matters involving their daughter, Lisa Marie. Priscilla, in turn, offered him a sense of stability and understanding that few others could provide. As Elvis's health continued to decline, Priscilla found herself grappling with a mix of emotions. She had always admired his resilience and determination, but she was also painfully aware of the toll that his lifestyle was taking on him. The long hours, grueling performances, and unrelenting demands of his career left little room for rest or recovery. For Priscilla, watching Elvis struggle was both heartbreaking and a reminder of the sacrifices he made to sustain his image as the king of rock and roll. Lisa Marie became a focal point for both Elvis and Priscilla during this time. Their shared love for their daughter provided a sense of unity amidst the challenges they faced. Elvis was a devoted father, and despite his hectic schedule, he made every effort to spend time with Lisa Marie. Priscilla, too, prioritized her role as a mother, ensuring that Lisa Marie had a stable and loving environment. The co-parenting dynamic they established was a testament to their commitment to their daughter's well-being and their respect for one another. In the midst of these personal struggles, Elvis's performances continued to captivate audiences. His charisma and talent shone brightly on stage, even as his health visibly declined. Fans who attended his concerts often spoke of the magic he brought to each performance, unaware of the physical and emotional challenges he faced behind the scenes. For Elvis, the stage was both a sanctuary and a burden, a place where he could connect with his fans, but also a space that demanded more from him than he could sometimes give. Priscilla, meanwhile, continued to build a life for herself outside of Elvis's orbit. She took on roles that showcased her intelligence and business acumen, becoming a successful entrepreneur and a key figure in preserving Elvis's legacy. Her work with Elvis Presley Enterprises transformed Graceland into a cultural landmark, drawing millions of fans and ensuring that Elvis's contributions to music and culture would never be forgotten. Through her efforts, Priscilla not only honored Elvis's memory but also established herself as a force to be reckoned with in her own right. Even as Priscilla moved forward, the connection she shared with Elvis remained unbreakable. They spoke often, their conversations filled with reflections on the past and thoughts about the future. Priscilla's role in Elvis's life during these years was one of quiet support, offering him encouragement and understanding as he navigated the complexities of his world. For Elvis, her presence was a source of comfort, a reminder of the love and friendship that had always defined their relationship. As the years passed, the challenges facing Elvis grew more pronounced. His health continued to deteriorate, and the pressures of maintaining his status as a global icon weighed heavily on him. Despite this, his commitment to his fans never wavered. He continued to perform with the same passion and energy that had defined his career, even as it became increasingly difficult for him to do so. For Priscilla, watching Elvis push himself to the limits was both inspiring and deeply troubling. The bond between Elvis and Priscilla during this time was a testament to the depth of their connection. While their romantic relationship had ended, their mutual respect and shared history created a foundation that endured through even the most challenging moments. Priscilla's reflections on these years reveal a deep sense of gratitude for the love they shared and the lessons they learned from one another. Their journey, though marked by its fair share of heartache, was also one of profound growth and transformation. As Elvis's health continued to decline, those closest to him, including Priscilla, began to prepare for the possibility of life without him. For Priscilla, the thought of losing Elvis was almost unimaginable. He had been a constant presence in her life, a partner and friend who had shaped her in ways she was only beginning to understand. The years they spent together, and the bond they shared after their divorce, were a testament to the enduring power of love, even in the face of unimaginable challenges. Elvis Presley's final years were marked by a profound mix of triumphs and struggles, a reflection of the complexities that defined his life. By the mid-1970s, his health had become a growing concern for those closest to him, including Priscilla. Although their romantic relationship had ended, she remained deeply connected to him, offering support in ways that only someone who truly understood his world could. The weight of fame had taken its toll on Elvis. His relentless touring schedule, coupled with the demands of maintaining his public persona, left him physically and emotionally exhausted. While his performances continued to dazzle audiences, those who knew him best saw the cracks forming beneath the surface. Priscilla, who often spoke with him during these years, described the quiet moments when Elvis would reflect on the pressures he faced and the sacrifices he had made for his career. Despite the challenges, Elvis's love for music and his fans never wavered. He poured every ounce of himself into his performances, even as his body began to show signs of strain. Priscilla later shared that these moments on stage were both a source of joy and a painful reminder of the toll his lifestyle had taken on him. For Elvis, the stage was a sanctuary, a place where he could connect with his audience and momentarily escape the burdens of his private life. Priscilla's reflections on this time reveal the depth of their enduring bond. She often found herself torn between admiration for his dedication and concern for his well-being. In their conversations, Elvis would confide in her about his fears, his regrets, and his dreams for the future. These talks were a testament to the trust they had built over the years, a connection that transcended the end of their marriage. The final months of Elvis's life were a whirlwind of activity, marked by both moments of triumph and profound vulnerability. Priscilla, while no longer living at Graceland, remained a steady presence in his life, offering support and guidance when he needed it most. Their shared love for Lisa Marie served as a focal point, grounding them both amidst the chaos. For Elvis, fatherhood was a role he cherished deeply, and his dedication to Lisa Marie was evident in every interaction they shared. As his health continued to decline, those closest to Elvis began to see the full extent of the toll his lifestyle had taken. Priscilla, reflecting on these moments, spoke of the immense pressure he felt to meet the expectations of those around him. His manager, Colonel Tom Parker, continued to push him toward an exhausting schedule, leaving little room for rest or recovery. For Elvis, the sense of responsibility to his family, his fans, and the empire he had built was both a driving force and a heavy burden. In August 1977, the world was shocked by the news of Elvis Presley's death. For Priscilla, the loss was deeply personal. Though their marriage had ended years earlier, the bond they shared remained unbroken. The grief she felt was not just for the man she had loved, but for the father of her child, and the icon who had touched the lives of millions. In the days following his death, Priscilla found herself reflecting on their journey together, the highs, the lows, and the lessons they had both learned along the way. In the years that followed, Priscilla took on the monumental task of preserving Elvis's legacy. She became a driving force behind the transformation of Graceland into a museum, ensuring that his contributions to music and culture would be remembered for generations to come. Her efforts were not just about honoring Elvis, but also about sharing his story in a way that captured both his brilliance and his humanity. Through her work, Priscilla has offered fans a deeper understanding of the man behind the myth. She has spoken candidly about their relationship, addressing the rumors and misconceptions that have surrounded their lives. At 79, Priscilla remains a voice of authority on Elvis's life, providing insights that only someone who knew him intimately could offer. Her reflections reveal a man who was both extraordinary and deeply human, a figure who struggled with the same fears and insecurities as anyone else, despite his larger-than-life persona. Priscilla's journey has been one of resilience and reinvention. From the young girl who fell in love with a global superstar to the woman who built a life of her own while preserving his memory, her story is as remarkable as Elvis's. She has spoken of the lessons she learned from their time together, emphasizing the importance of self-discovery, love, and forgiveness. For Priscilla, the legacy of Elvis Presley is not just about his music, but about the impact he had on the people who knew him best. As the years have passed, Priscilla has continued to share her memories of Elvis with fans around the world. Her reflections serve as a reminder of the depth of their connection and the indelible mark he left on her life. While the rumors and speculation may persist, Priscilla's words provide a glimpse into the truth, a story of love, partnership, and the enduring bond between two people whose lives were forever intertwined. Even now, decades after his passing, Elvis Presley remains a symbol of talent, charisma, and innovation. For Priscilla, his legacy is deeply personal, a reminder of the man she loved and the life they shared. Her continued dedication to preserving his memory ensures that future generations will come to understand not just the legend, but the man behind it. Through her efforts, the world is reminded that Elvis's story is not just one of fame and fortune, but of love, struggle, and the human spirit. With that, we have reached the end of today's video. If you have come this far with us, be sure to check out other videos on the channel.